Sup? Welcome back to the Truth Be Told podcast. I'm Adam Toll, your host, and today's episode is brought to you by Payday Loans. We're here for you when you need to take her to Wendy's. Alright guys, I know it's been a few days since the last time we spoke, but I've been a little bit busy. Not really, but too busy to apparently put out a pod. I know I said I was going to try to do 1 to 2 pods a week. And so far, I'm adhering to that policy. My wife gave me 12 episodes total, so that's the only number we need to beat. As long as we make more than 12, then we can tell the wife, I told you so, which doesn't happen very often, so let's get to it. All right, so I just want to, it's been a wacky week. Today I got up. It is New England window season, window season in New England, as we like to call it, or as most people refer to it, allergy season. Anyone ever wake up in the, like this happens every once in a while, especially during this time of year. I wake up and it looks like I, fought Mike Tyson in my dreams. Like we went a couple of rounds, eyes are all swollen, fucking runny nose, got that dry cough. But, there's no way around it really in New England because none of the houses have central air. Even though this house was built in 2003, we don't have central air. Like, well, what kind of reality is this? Like, I'm living in 2024. I mean, air conditioning's been around for a long time. People in New England are like, oh, you don't need it. Just open the windows. Yeah, that works out great, especially when you live in the middle of the woods. Everything gets this yellow film on it if you leave so everything that's sit next to the windows and even the windowsills have a yellow film on it, and it just contributes to my face, again, looking like I got the shit kicked out of me every morning. So it's starting to be worse this week, and that's why it's fresh top of mind. I also was since the windows are open or whatever, I was warming up for all 8 people that listen to me, and I'm doing like a me mo red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow, trying to get my voice warmed up to produce an amazing podcast for you. And I'm like, oh shit, the fucking windows are open, man. I mean, this happens all the time too. Our windows are open year round, and I'm, I live here. So I just think the neighbors, probably it smells like weed, and I'm over here, speaking to myself, speaking to a camera, me, and all they're hearing is me. They must think a psycho lives here. Hate to break it to them. There's a psycho next door. So, all right. So, a bunch of stuff in the news this week already. Obviously, Donald Trump in court. I don't really have an opinion except for I wish they would let him out of the courtroom more often, or not out of the courtroom, but I wish he wasn't spending so much time there, because lately his speeches have been on point. I don't know if you missed it, but he did talk about Hannibal Lecter and hot dogs in the last one. And even the people behind the stage listening to this dude talk about this shit are just standing around, and they're just looking at each other like, should we be laughing? Is this supposed to be funny? Is he pretty? No. He's just spewing bullshit out of his mouth because he wants to be able to put on the longest rally. So he talks for 2.5 hours, and when he runs out of things to say, which is 5-10 minutes in, then he just goes on about whatever is going on upstairs and in that at this point, elderly brain. So they even have videos where the people showed up, but no one stayed for the entire 2.5 hours. They just started walking out, man, because again, there's no substance to the conversation. He's just like, well, we're going for the marathon today because the longer I stand up here, the longer I don't have to think about how long I'm going to go to prison. So it's just it's very odd. Always funny though when it's in the news. It's pretty much, free material for everybody on Twitter, every comedian. So, I don't know. I don't find it too interesting anymore. I mean, at this point, it's just a circus. So just let the circus be. The circus exists. Let's just ignore it. All these people are looking for is attention anyway. So, the other big thing in the news or in the Twitter sphere has been the prices of fast food. Now, very relatable story. Last 4 or 5 days ago, so Saturday, Kelly and I hiked 20 miles. And when you get done hiking 20 miles, it took about 7.5 hours. You literally will eat anything. Like, normally I'm not trying to find a Wendy's or, like a McDonald's to eat at, because, I mean, it's basically trash. But after you hike 7 hours, you can eat whatever the fuck you want. So there was no, like, mom and pop shop on the way there or on the way back to the house, and we drove like an hour and a half to go hiking in New Hampshire. So we pull up to Wendy's, right? And, I order what the Baconator combo, and Kelly orders a chicken combo, or a spicy chicken combo, sorry. And I get to the window, and he's like, that'll be $27.40. And I was like, wait, what the? Is that the right price? Like, we only got 2 combo meals. So basically 2 sandwiches, 2 fries, and 2 drinks. Didn't upsize, didn't ask for, extra whatever. It was $27.14. I just like sheepishly hand him my card. I'm like, oh, I hope there's enough in my bank account to cover this expense. Wasn't looking to spend $30 for the 2 of us to eat, fast food today. So very, I was just like, holy shit. So when I got home, I went online. I was looking around, and there had been some rumblings about this and absurd fast food prices. But again, I don't know how much that shit costs. Like, I don't frequent fast food establishments. So I saw something where McDonald's was literally, I think since 2014, the prices have gone up like $3 to $4 on a lot of different items. Like a medium fry is $3 now. Obviously, you can still get Diet Coke on tap forever for 99 cents any size, because they don't give a shit about, they're not losing any money on that. That's just instant profit. I used to work at a fast food restaurant, so I'll explain that in a second. But yeah, I was super fucking surprised, and like listening to people bitch about the prices of fast food and, blaming inflation and blah, 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 blah. It's not really, like they're using the excuse of inflation to raise prices and keep wages down, which is why they always raise prices. And then they use like, a 50-cent average per hour increase in wages. They can use that as an excuse to change the prices. I'm somewhat of an expert on the topic. For those of you that don't know, I was a fast food kingpin at one point. Not kingpin, but I was a general manager at the age of 20 years old. And working at a fast food restaurant, especially managing one, was quite wild experience. I don't know if the customers who come in or dealing with the employees who don't show up is worse. But the minimum wage then was $7.25, and I don't want to get into like a minimum wage rant on whether or not, these are jobs that people should be working to afford a living, etc. None of that matters. This is more just like a PSA to the public who wants to bitch about fast food prices to the guy that's taking their order at the cash register, or someone who wants to bitch about, whatever. Like, if you go to a fast food restaurant bitching and ready to bitch at someone that's making $7.25 an hour, you're a fucking asshole. That's it. And I have a funny story about this. So you always, like in the fast food world, if you work in that arena for longer than, a couple of weeks, you have a dead read on the type of customers that come in there. And there's a subset of the population, and it's probably like 10% of the population, if I had to guess, 10 to 15%. But at least one of them shows up every 48 hours. So like, once a shift, or, almost average, let's say we average 5 or 6 of these people a week. And they walk in, and that they're going to cause an issue. Like, they come in with this fucking face. I don't know how to describe this face, but it looks like they're ready to run up to the counter, start banging on it, and making demands, over a $3 biscuit. And they're ready to, fight tooth and nail about whatever it may be. So I had this lady come up and she ordered a biscuit. I think it was bacon, egg, and cheese. Don't recall. It was almost 20 years ago. But she comes back up after getting it, and she's like, this biscuit is cold or whatever. So So I was like, okay, I'm sorry, maybe it wasn't fresh, maybe it wasn't blah, blah, blah. It was like, just be a couple minutes. We got fresh biscuits coming out of the oven. Meanwhile, like, you're going through this processing in your brain, and especially 20-year-old me was ready to just tell this bitch to go fuck herself. But like, you're trying to, like, you can feel the energy in the room get on edge, and all the employees are like, looking around, trying to see what's gonna happen or whatever. So long story short, I get her a fresh biscuit, and they're piping hot. We waited till it came out of the oven just to make sure she got a fresh biscuit. Newsflash: Hardee's is still one of the only fast food companies that rolls their own biscuits and bakes them every morning, which is why, in my opinion, they're the best. But anyway, fuck the tangent. Jeez, I'm sorry. This long-winded story. Obviously, if you've ever talked to me, interacted with me, everything is long-winded. So where were we again? Okay. So we get her a fresh biscuit, right? And like, I give her the biscuit. I'm like, oh, really sorry about, you didn't get a biscuit. She turns around and then turns back around, and then she just fucking flings the biscuit right at me, man. And I'm just like, what the fuck? I was like, you need to leave. And she was like, this is the second time I got my fucking biscuit and it's cold. I was like, literally, ma'am, I'm sorry, but the biscuit maker couldn't even, like, open up the biscuit to put the shit in there because it was too hot. She's like, I don't fucking care. I want my money back and I'm gonna fill out blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right, here's my boss's oh, I forgot one part. She goes, I want to speak to the general manager. So, like, I turned around. And then I turned back around and I was like speaking, and then she just like full fucking zero to Karen like in the middle. And so, like, I gave her my boss's phone number and like, wrote it down. She filled out a comment card which we had, and little did she know I was just gonna walk over there and rip it up. But she wrote like a fucking novel front. Like, there was a comment section at the bottom after all these, like, rate your experience or whatever. She filled out the comment section below and then had turned the card over and written more shit. I mean, I don't remember exactly what she wrote, but it was, basically, fuck you, you're an asshole. This guy doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. I can't believe he's in charge, yada, yada, yada. So, like, obviously ripped it up. Didn't fucking think anything about it. But, like, the whole point is, regardless of how much or what your opinion is on the fast food prices and like who works there and whether or not they're making a livable wage, which they aren't. $7.25 is still like the same. I think the minimum wage in Indiana has gone up like 50 cents. So I think it's like $7.75 or whatever. So if in 20 years, basically, it's only been up 50 cents, then it's obviously not enough money. And so don't bitch about the prices of fast food, number one. And number two, if you are a person who's already mad before entering establishment and then, like, going to complain to someone who literally has no control over the matter whatsoever, then you're the fucking asshole. Maybe you need to do some self-reflection. And you know what? Maybe, like, these fast food companies will go out of business too. They're not paying people. They're raising prices. People aren't going there. Good. Stop putting this trash in your body. Stop it. And then I just want to reiterate one more time. Please, when you go to, like, just be a reasonable human. I know it's a lot to ask. I know you need to tell everyone how you feel about everything in public, but no one fucking cares. No one cares. So stop it. Just go in there, order your sandwich, and get the fuck out of there. And be happy. Try to put on a smile. Like, I mean, there's just try. Just try for 5 seconds to think about someone else, okay? All right. I think, that's going to conclude the fast food edition, fast food story of this podcast. I think I want to start doing more current event stuff. Again, like, it's still a work in progress, so if you stuck with me through this podcast, I appreciate you, obviously. But I'm thinking I want to start narrowing in on topics, doing current events, more stuff that's in the news, etc. So, I guess we're just going to end it there. We'll see you on the next one. Peace!